Yeah, and listen, I don't disagree with you, Harrington, and good analysis and very well said. And to be honest, listening to you talk there is kind of skewing me a little bit. It is making
Yeah.
me change. No, I'm serious though.
No, me too.
Because
I was thinking, I was
listen,
like, damn, he's right.
Volkanovski, it's not like I don't think Volkanovski can't do it. And then also now I'm reminded of when I just saw some footage of Islam hitting the pads and stuff this week. On the feet, he's nowhere near what Volkanovski has. He's not. I saw him hitting and kicking a punch bag, and I'm just like, he doesn't turn his hips over on the kicks and stuff like that because that's not his background. Volkanovski is by far better and slicker. His footwork is incredible. The way he switches stances, the way he understands range, the way he cuts angles after his combinations and all the rest of it. So yeah, listen, I'm still going to stick.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I thought that Islam, he's not as dynamic and as creative as Volkanovski is on his feet. He doesn't have the same angles, but I thought Islam gave Volkanovski a lot of problems on his feet early.
He did
in that first fight, and I thought that's what made the fight so unique, was that Islam was a much tougher out in the grappling, or Volkanovski was a much tougher out in the grappling than I think Islam expected him to be. So I think both guys had the other guy do much better where they're the strongest than they probably expected. So I actually thought Islam looked really, really good in the striking and won a lot of those striking exchanges early because of his length and his size.
No, I thought he looked sharp, very accurate, very fast. I'm just saying technically, the way he throws,
not as dynamic or diverse. For sure.
Yeah, but hey, I will take effective over being technically perfect any day of the week, Harrington.
Fair.
So what I was going to ask is, like, could the success we saw in Islam striking early on in that fight be beholden to the fact that Volkanovski, like everybody talks about when they're fighting a wrestler and they get caught with the hands, he was so preoccupied with the idea of a takedown that once Islam was able to take him down and Volkanovski was able to not get choked out, he was able to keep getting back up and really frustrate Islam and start to turn the tide in the grappling towards the end, then he took over on the feet significantly. Yeah. So I'm wondering if he goes into this fight being like, screw it, if I get taken down, I'm getting back up. I'm not letting this guy beat me on the feet.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what we spoke about the other day on Monday's show. We were saying about the what ifs, and not knowing. He's been there. He knows he can get back up. So I don't think he would be quite as tentative. I'm just going to bring this up here in case and just explain myself before the Bisping's looking at his phone again. Yeah, it's relevant to the conversation, dickheads. I did a little poll on Twitter earlier today just to see what the public thinks. Who wins at UFC 294? 60,000 votes. Can you guess who they think?
It's not bad. Do they think Volk wins?
I'm going to say 52-48 Volk.
62% of people have Volkanovski winning.
Izzy's not a guy that doesn't, he's not a guy that misses weight. He's not a guy that doesn't take on the number one contender. He's not a guy who says he's going to do things and then pulls out of the fight injured. He's not that guy. But you guys got used to that guy and you go, it's just Izzy fighting. Little do you know that he is once in a generational talent, and we've all taken it for granted. So when he goes, I'm going to take a step back, not fight for a while, I thought, oh, that's brilliant. Let people go, damn, where's Izzy, man? What happened to Izzy? Because before it's just like, oh, Izzy's fighting 3 months? Crazy. He just fought, right? Yep. Damn, Izzy lost to Alex? He's fighting him again? Yeah. Damn, Izzy knocked Alex out? Yeah, man.
That was amazing.
Damn, Izzy on short notice fighting Sean Strickland? Yep. And he told the UFC to do it. UFC didn't want to do it. Damn, that's crazy. Then he loses. Oh, Izzy's done. No. You guys didn't recognize the pure greatness when he was doing it, when he's in the middle of it. And you've done yourself a disservice. So him taking a step back, he goes, I'm trying to do as much as I can. But after this fight, and again, 14 months, 4 fights. 14 months, 4 fights. As the most famous man in the UFC is unheard of. And you guys want to trash Izzy. You're a moron. You guys that are bad-mouthing Izzy, moron. Because you look at the massive stars, and when's the last time Conor fought? And I love Conor. We don't know what's going to happen. You look at these big superstars. Look at them. How active are they? Are they taking on all customers? Are they taking on all the badasses? Izzy cleaned out. Izzy was so great. You didn't realize how great he was. He lapped the competition. Fought Robert Whittaker twice. Vittori, Paulo Costa. He lapped the competition. The UFC had to assign a fighter from Glory who beat him in kickboxing and fast track him to the title shot to get y'all interested in his fights. That is the definition of pure greatness. And y'all are missing it. And y'all want to make fun of him. You want to badmouth him. No. Izzy gave you so much access. We've never seen a guy of his level give so much access, break down the fourth wall. You took it for advantage. You just assumed that this is how it goes. Now you're going to learn. He's once in a lifetime generational talent. Nobody's like Izzy. He's not. I know he lost. I know. Look at his resume, for God's sakes. There's nobody better to ever do it at 185 pounds. This guy can lose and then come back and win. What he did against Jan Blachowicz, insane, dude. He came back, won his next fight. What he did against Alex Pereira, you know the mental fortitude you have to have? You're 0-3.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, it's just kickboxing. And then he knocks you out in MMA. Yeah. And then to take that fight on a few weeks later and then knock him out playing rope-a-dope, y'all must have forgot. And he's going to remind you because now he's not going to be in there for a while. And you're going to have the rest of the middleweight division who ain't Izzy. They're fun. They're not Izzy. So he needs to sit back, recoup, distance makes the heart grow fonder, and then come back and prove his greatness. The same thing with what Dana and the UFC is doing. There's nobody else on 10 days' notice who can fill in these massive, massive fights. And you're talking about historical fights on 10 days' notice. It's insane. For Alex Volkanovski to step up and do it, for Kamaru Usman to step up and do it, you're talking about the biggest huevos to ever fight in the UFC. It's nuts is what we're getting. You guys need to recognize that. Not just go, what are the odds? What's the DraftKings odds? But just take a step back and realize what these guys are doing for you. The fans win, the UFC wins. Something you should also recognize is whenever it's a fight in Abu Dhabi or in the Middle East, or it's a fight in Australia, the UFC has a deal with them. They're getting so much money. They have, I forget how many pay-per-views that they agreed to. In their agreement, they have to provide superstar fights. So if this fight was at T-Mobile Arena, this fight was at the UFC Apex, you're not getting Alex Volkanovski versus Makhachev. That's not happening. They're not going to risk that. You're not getting Hamzat versus Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman, they're not calling him. You're not getting that. You're getting probably top 20 guys, like 15 through 25, to step in and just get slaughtered. And they go, all right, let's just focus on the next one. But when it comes to Australia and Abu Dhabi, they have made promises to them that give them blockbuster fights, and that's why you got these fights.